When too much of our attention is outwardly focused, we can get caught up in the drama cycle. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Amanda G from Amanda G Global. Here with you today to talk about the drama cycle that we most probably have all been caught up in. When our attention is not focused on ourselves, when our attention is focused on someone else, when our attention is outwardly focused, we forget about ourselves. We forget about looking after ourselves. We forget about how's this actually making me feel in the moment. And when we can actually look at this from this perspective, we're going to see the truth. The truth is what sets us apart. The not having the clarity in a situation can have us repeating the same cycles that we've always gone down. The same drama, the same anxiousness, waiting for someone to fulfill a need of ours for us to feel good, right? The anxiousness that creates when we're waiting for someone to fulfill our own cup. And this is not their focus, because we can never rely on someone else to fill our own cup. We have to rely on ourselves to fill our own cup. And being in a place where we can recognize that this is a cycle that's playing out, the onus has to come back to ourselves. When we don't recognize, this is when the repeating patterns keep happening. This is when the same cycle keeps going on. And over time, it builds resentment because we're not actually expressing how we're feeling. We're not actually coming to our full truth in the situation because we get filled up with something, or someone gives us something and we are momentarily filled up to think everything is okay again. And then something else will go wrong, or something else will be felt, and then the same cycle keeps happening. And this is fine if we are unaware. It's when we can start looking at ourselves and going, is this really serving me? What is the highest timeline I can be on in this moment? What is it that I desire? Not anyone else. What suits someone else does not matter when our emotional state is not being at our happiest, most joyful expression of ourselves. When we are waiting on a piece of reassurance, or we're waiting on a text message or some kind of communication, we are putting our own self in the drama cycle. We're putting our own self in pain and suffering, uneasiness, anxiety, when it doesn't need to be this way. Because when we are taking the ownership of going, what is it that I really want? We will not settle for what does not serve. And we will not accept what we feel in our own hearts and our own truth to move the situation forward. It's when we are not grounded in our own center that we look outside of ourselves for reassurance, that we look outside of ourselves for the love, the feeling like everything is okay. When what if we could do all this for ourselves? Because this is the power that we do have. When we can give all the love, when we can give all the support, when we can give all the knowing to ourselves that, yes, I am stable, I'm secure, I am loving, I'm peaceful, all of this, when we are in our heart, we know what direction to take. We know what feels good for us. We know what we desire. When we aren't clear, this allows other people's energy to come into our own guidance system, and so overwrite what we know to be true with someone else's emotions, with someone else's communication, with someone else. Everything is outside of ourselves, not in here, not our inner knowing. And when we start compromising our inner knowing with feeling good for something that's come about in the outside world, it's leading us down that same path. the same patterns, the same behavior, and not taking ownership for ourselves, not standing in our power. And when we want to stand in our power, be our fullest authentic expression of ourselves, this is the stuff that we need to take ownership of, and to understand and recognize and to realize and to go, this is not serving me. What can I do for myself in this moment to have me feel like I'm empowered? I am making the choices in my world. I am creating my reality. I know what I desire. That's the power, and that's empowerment. Let's really get real with ourselves to come back to what we know is true, and not let outside energies influence or determine what it is that's best for us, what it is that can take us down a different path to what we know is true. We can stand in our power, so we can be empowered for our own self-worth, for our own self-confidence, to go, no, I've got this. I know what I desire. I know what I want. I know what supports me and what doesn't support me. And this is how we get to the next level. This is how we break cycles, is by 1, recognizing, having the awareness, 2, by taking responsibility for ourselves, and 3, have an unwavering self-confidence and self-worth that it doesn't matter what is said or what is in the outside world reflecting to us. We know that we're on the right track. We know that our desires are the most important. We know that our confidence comes from standing in our truth, and to get really clear with what it is that we actually desire. Because when we're not clear, outside world determines our truth. When we're clear, our inside world determines the truth. That's the power. All right, my beautiful people, hope there's a message in there that you received today. Stand in your power. You've got this. Know who you are. Know what you desire. Know your worth. And nothing outside of you will determine your happiness and your joy and your peace. Only you can do that. Much love. Amanda G.